Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I thought we would do another Get Ready With Me, but hair edition. I thought I would show you the way I do my signature curls and an easy way, step by step, of how you can do it at home. For those who don't know, my name is Courtney. I'm here to talk about everything skincare, beauty, and all the little things in between. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell so you get notified of all my upcoming videos. So let's get cozy and let's get into it. Today, I thought we would keep it super simple and just do a little get ready, step-by-step of how to do my signature curls. A little background of me, I've been a stylist for about 10 years now. I've worked in salons, I've worked at home in my home salon now for about a year, and I'm loving just being out on my own. I've traveled the world doing hair, and I'm loving working from home, and I'm loving having my roots here. So yeah. A little background on me. Let's get started. So all my hair has now, it's about 2 days, I think 2 days. I just freshly colored it myself because, you know, COVID, can't have your hair done. So as a stylist, I have the luxury of being able to color my hair myself. So all I did is after I've colored it and washed it, I have a blow dry round brush. These are key. These are essential for me and anybody that has the want or need, that likes that weekly blowout at the salon or whatever the case may be. I love it. I will say that I bought this because I caved from an influencer online who praised about this. Sure, it's great, but you can get something the exact same local. I'm sure you could find something at Winners, or you could, you know, your local salon will carry it from a brand name. You don't need to get it just because an influencer says this brand is, I don't even know what this brand is, but I'm sure you could get something very similar. It's just a blow dry round brush. I just do my hair in 3 sections and blow dry it that way, and it just gets like a kind of bouncy round brush look, and it takes literally 5 minutes, and I can just go out like this if you wanted to. But again, we're just gonna do my signature curls. It's kind of like a beachy, lived-in kind of a curl. All you're gonna need is a 1-inch curling iron. This is the Babeless 1-inch curling iron. A lot of people like a wand. I personally don't. I find the curls are a little too wrapped. Obviously, it's a wand. I just find they're a little too ringletty for my liking. But if that's all you have, that's perfect. We can totally make it work. You're going to need a heat protectant. This I just use, it's iron shade from Redken. Any heat protectant is going to work because your hot tool can heat up anywhere from 450. Hot tip, I do not recommend putting it to the hottest setting. Your hair does not need it, but your hot tool can get to 450. A heat protectant is going to protect it from any sort of damage. So that is all we're gonna need pre, and then the rest of the stuff is after, so we'll talk about that after. And then just a little jaw clip. So you're gonna need for it before. So my hair is, I don't have a whole lot of it. It's not very thick, it looks it, but it's pretty fine. So I'm just gonna do it kind of in 3-ish sections. So all you're gonna do, section it right above your ear, right here, and go all the way back. Just like that. So you just have kind of like the bottom part. And if I have self-tanner lines, I'm very sorry. I self-tanned last night and I'm not very good with it. I just flop it on. And you're gonna take that and just kind of pin it up. Just like that. So then you're gonna take your heat protector. You're gonna spray it kind of far away because if you spray it too close, it's going to get wet, and then you're gonna hear that sizzle when you go onto it. That's not good, that's burning. You don't want that. Mine's already preheated. I don't have mine near on the hottest. It's not about halfway. If you have this exact same one, it just goes by numbers. If you do have this one, I have mine at like 23, 24. It's not the hottest. I don't know what that equivalency is to heat, but it's definitely not the hottest. So in this back section, I'm gonna do this in 3. So you're gonna take that, that's about a 2-inch section. I want bigger sections because I don't want this to be tiny little ringlets. I want this to be large sections. So there's no need for brushes. There's no need for perfection. Just take a chunk. Just take a chunk. As you can see, this is quite a large chunk back here. You could actually, technically, kind of grab a small section. I'm just gonna do this in two. So two 2-inch sections. If you miss pieces, oh well. I don't want this perfect. So take it, I just kind of run my fingers down because the oil from your hands is gonna kind of smooth it over. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna just clamp it down. Don't leave your clamp. And you're gonna just twist it. About 1 to 2 twists. Pull it down. And pull that out. See how there's like a little tongue left? Pull that out. I understand for people who have never done their hair, that looked kind of confusing. Don't worry, we're gonna do the whole head. Grab your next section. Again, slide your fingers down and kind of like combing it out as you go. Always curl away from your face. So almost think of it as like pulling it back away from your face. So you're gonna pull it about halfway down. Pull it down, twist, so that you get out at least 1 to 2 wraps. Pull that out. See, a little bit fell out, who cares? There's a little tongue left, pull that a little bit so that there's just a tiny tongue left. And then pull that out, and when you pull that out, just pull down so that you almost straighten that end. Like that. So that's your bottom section done. Now I do find if you're like me, if you're active, if you work out, if you're on the go, your bottom tends to get straight quite easily if your hair doesn't hold a curl or something like that. That's fine because this is a lived-in curl. That's okay. So then you're gonna take the rest down, and then I'm gonna go up, I mean quite high, kind of a little bit above your temple. I'm not gonna use head terminology for those who are watching that do not know the bones of the head. And then just pin that up. And again, spread. You always want to spread each section from quite a distance. And then kind of let it sit for a second. Because again, if you hear that sizzle, your hair is burning. The product's burning. Not essentially your hair. It could be your hair, but it's usually the product. So then again, big section. I mean, that's 2, could be 3, but a 2-ish inch section. The further out you curl like this, the more volume you're going to get off of your scalp. The downward more of a curl that you do, the least volume you're gonna get. So think about that however you want. If you want a little bit more volume, kind of off your face, off your head, curl out more, totally up to you. I don't necessarily want a crazy amount of volume, so I don't generally try to curl up a whole lot. That's totally up to you. And put halfway down, twist, leave it for a second or 2. I'm gonna take that out. And then keep pulling down until you just have that tongue, and you can kind of keep turning if you want until you just have that tongue that's left. Pull it out. You just have that tongue left, and pull down. And that's what you're left with. So then move on to your next section. Again, go to 2-inch section. Halfway down, twist up, leave it for a second, pull that out, pull down till you've got a little tongue out, twist up, leave that for a second, and then pull that down. Generally all kind of slowly. You don't want to do this in such fast motions because if you do it too fast, you're going to lose that curl. And move on to your other side. I generally kind of do the sides and then the back. Obviously the back is going to be a little bit more frustrating, but just pull the back forward. Treat it like it's part of the side. So again, then you're going to kind of just twist it out. Pull it till you have just that little tongue. Leave it for a second, and then pull it straight. So I'm kind of starting to get to the back. So again, like I said, you're just gonna kind of pull it so it's part of the side, so it's a little bit easier. So you see how I'm kind of going downwards versus straight up, because I don't want a ton of volume. If you do, if you like a little bit more volume, easy, go for it. The world is your oyster. If you've got a lot of layering in your hair, you are gonna have pieces that kind of pop out as you do this. That's fine, because at the end, you can just kind of curl those pieces on their own, or you can try to get them all in there if you want, but don't worry about it. So that section, because my part is over on the side, is going to be one section. I am going to divide this into its own section and just leave this top piece to do last. Then spray. Well, that's it. So my top, so this would be my top piece on this side, and then this would be my top piece on this side. I do those in a tiny bit smaller sections just so that they're a little bit more pieced out. So it's a little bit more refined. So I'll talk about that. I'm just gonna whiz through this side here and I'll be right back. So I brought everything down. I just finished that piece on this side. I put iron shape all over it, our heat protectant, and now we're gonna go in. Like I said, I do the top section just a smidge different, just with a little bit of a smaller section, just so that it is a tiny bit more defined, just because it is on the top. And I do find that when you go through and kind of pull out your curls, the top can get pulled out a little bit more. So I'm just gonna go through. You can start on either side, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go in with a smidge smaller. So that's about an inch and a half maybe. And again, everything away from the face. Because what you can do is you can go in after you've done it and pulled out the curl and all that, is you can go in and then you can kind of piece out some pieces and make those pieces a little bit more defined, which sometimes I do depending on how the curl has pulled out, if it's not cooperating with me. Because I, for one, do not like a perfect curl or perfect head of hair, I guess you could say. I like it lived in, I like it messy. You'll see with how much texture spray and stuff I put in, I like it to be messy. And so with the front, this is all in preference. If you like it to be kind of down a little bit more, if you like it to be up. So if you like it down more, when you clamp, pull it down or pull it back, totally up to you. I don't care. However it falls, it falls. I just generally do it straight back. This piece I do sometimes have to go over again. It does not like to cooperate. I think it's because I've lightened this piece. I had the Cruella de Vil moment going on quite a while ago, and now I've kind of toned it down, so the lightener has compromised a bit of my hair, and now it just doesn't want to hold curve as well as it should. Has anybody on my channel bought the Cruella de Vil movie on Disney? I very much wanted to until I was told of how much it is, which I think is highway robbery, that it's $35 to buy it on Disney. I understand that you can rewatch it, but like, how often do you actually rewatch a movie to get $35 worth? Whatever. I'm probably still gonna buy it because it's Cruella. Come on, I'm a Disney fan. So that's about it. I have all the curls are done. I can't see any that are not pieced out. Yeah, they're all there. See, it's messy, like already, like I have flyaways, but so what? So, one of my biggest tips, and this again, is kind of a preference. If you want your curls to stay in, do not touch them when they are warm. If you want them to be very loose and almost fall out, but I don't mean that in a bad way, but if you kind of want them to fall out, pull them out when they're warm because they will not hold their curl. The curl structure will fall out if you touch them when they're warm, but if you let them cool completely, the structure will hold and then you can do what you want with them. So when I'm doing my clients or my own hair, I always let their hair cool completely. So that's what we're gonna do. I'll let my hair cool. It doesn't take very long. I mean, you can air it out if you want to, but we're gonna let our hair cool and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So like I said, it only takes a couple of minutes for your hair to completely cool down before you can touch it. But just to keep your hair structure intact, the curl structure intact, just leave it for a couple of minutes. Either go do your makeup or go have a snack, go drink your iced coffee, whatever the case may be. Just leave it alone. So to pull out your curl, you can either use your fingers, you can use a brush. I find a brush pulls out the curl a little bit more, and if that's the look you're going for, go for it. I do use my fingers. I like to rake through the curl because it does hold, I find it just doesn't pull at the curl as much. And what I do is from the Design Me line, I just use Gloss Me. I really like it. It doesn't have argan oil, which for my blondes, argan oil can tint/stain your hair. So this is clear, colorless. I really like it. I just use one pump in my hair. If you have thicker hair, you might want more. I just use one pump, kind of mush it around your hands. I do a little bit more on my tips, and then all you're gonna do, tilt sideways, wide open fingers, pull through. And you're not gonna do too much. Just pull through like this. Other side, pull through. I don't do too much on the top because like I said, personally, the top of my hair can lose its curl a little bit more, probably years of being a blonde. And same in the back. And just kind of mess it up. I don't find this oil is heavy at all either. So as you can see, I'm right in my root. It's not gonna make me oily. But this just breaks up my curl. So once that's in, then I'm gonna go in with the same Design Me line, but in Puff Me. This is a texturizing spray. I love this stuff. So I'm just gonna go in, kind of far away. Go in. This just gives me a little texture. You don't have to use this. You can just use a hairspray. I use both. Preference. You can also spray this at the root to give you a little lift. They have a really nice new dry shampoo as well. They have a foam and they have a dry shampoo. Both are lovely. Should have been born in a different era. I love big hair. The messier the better for me, because if I go out in the wind and it gets messy, it's like, oh, it's supposed to be like that. And then I have a full can, but it's almost empty, so I'm just gonna use my travel size. The Hold Me, again from Design Me line. I love their whole line. Not a fan of their shampoo conditioner treatment in this line, I will say. I don't find it does anything, but if you like it, props to you. So I'm just gonna go in, a little hairspray, like I need it. Because as you can see, I'm taking my fingers in like a claw form, and I'm just kind of picking it up so I get underneath, but I get those ends, so it almost like lifts it up. A little bit in the back, a little bit in the front, that's it. So I didn't find that I needed it, but before I put in my texture spray and my hairspray, even after I've done my oil, hairdresser friends, you're gonna freak out that I'm saying this. That's after I've done the oil and I've pulled the curl out, that's when I would have went in with my curling iron and like pieced out some of those pieces and re-curled those if need be, if I find like some are too straight or something like that, that's when I would have done that. But I didn't feel that I needed to, probably because it's a little bit dirty. I think I'm on day 2 or 3. It's doing what it's supposed to. This is how I do my curls, and I mean throughout the day they'll fall a little bit, but the amount of product that I put in it, maybe not too much. But if you have any questions, let me know. If you want another kind of tutorial, or if you need an easier step-by-step, just let me know. I'm always here for questions and answers. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all your love and support, and I'm always here for help. Thanks guys, have a great day.